people are straight up rebelling against the federal government.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just literally.
Saskatchewan threatened to arrest federal agents.
Yeah.
And Alberta says RCMP do not listen to Trudeau's gun ban.
Yeah. Don't even accept them.
Yeah, we're not going to be confiscating them.
Yeah.
Yo!
Like they just told the federal police to disobey federal law.
Yeah. That's happening in our country. CBC, here we go. Alberta won't participate in federal efforts to seize prohibited weapons, Sandro says. Provincial Justice Minister Alberta will not agree to having RCMP officers act as confiscation agents. The Alberta government is taking steps to oppose federal firearms prohibition legislation and the potential seizure of thousands of assault-style weapons. Since May of 2020, Ottawa has prohibited more than 1,500 different models of assault-style firearms from being used or sold in Canada. It has committed to establishing a buyback program to remove those firearms from communities. Alberta Justice Minister Tyler Shandro says he received a letter from the Minister of Public Safety asking for police resources to begin confiscating firearms starting this fall. He says Alberta will not agree to having RCMP officers act as confiscation agents and will protest any such move under the provincial federal agreement that governs policing.
Wow. Alberta taxpayers pay over $750 million per year for the RCMP. And we will not tolerate taking officers off of the street to confiscate property of law-abiding firearm owners. And I can get behind that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with it.
Me too.
I think we should start putting more effort into, taking out the guys who have firearms illegally in the country and using them to hurt people. But hey,
I feel like we're such a broken record where it's like, why are we blaming legal gun owners for crimes committed with illegal weapons? Because all of this was sparked from the Nova Scotia mass shooting, which took place with American weapons brought into Canada illegally.
Yeah.
But it was an easy in to the uneducated eye of how these types of weapons are bad.
Yeah.
And no one, I guess, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. We've said it so many times, and still, it's like, those weapons kill people. It's like, well, any weapon can kill someone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's how did it get here?
I don't think weapons kill people. People kill people.
Well, also that, exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Why are these people killing people? Why don't we look into why people are killing people?
Mm-hmm.
$750 million a year for the RCMP. You want to waste those resources on confiscating weapons. So you'd rather confiscate the guns from legal owners than maybe invest into the mental health of the people who are probably killing people. It's so strange.
It is very strange.
Because what is that psychotic person going to go do when he can't get his hands or her hands on a assault style weapon? Hunting rifles are still legal.
Mm-hmm.
They're crazy. They don't care what kind of gun they use.
No.
They'll stab you to death. They're crazy.
As we've seen.
So I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to stop killings.
Yeah.
You're not going to stop shootings. You will. I guess you'll stop shootings. Sure, yeah, you'll stop shootings. But people are still going to die.
Mm. Yep, it doesn't make any sense, but I think the thing I want to get at too, but the whole thing is, I definitely I don't agree with the buyback program. I don't agree with them going after all these guns because it doesn't make any sense. It's a waste of time and resources from my perspective, from what I've seen and what the actual issue is. But I don't want to ignore the unprecedented moment we're seeing right here, where provincial law is saying "screw you" to the federal government.
Dude, that's
nuts.
war starting. That's civil war invoking.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's like in the Bible of civil war. It's like you rebel against your leader.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you have government officials telling you to do it. So who do you believe?
Straight up. And what happens, right? So this is happening now. What happens when, say, Pierre Poilievre gets into power?
Yeah.
Quebec's like, screw you. Ontario's like, screw you. We're not going to obey you. We're not going to do that, right? Like, what happens?
We're just going to have 13 little countries?
That's where it's going to right now, right?
That's Quebec's dream.
Oh, they would love it. Quebec and Alberta, let's be honest.
Yeah.
They would love that. That's kind of where we're heading right now with the craziness that's going on.
And I'm not a fan of the government. I don't, I don't turn to them for solace or I don't rely on them other than what I'm legally obliged to. However, the sense of being a Canadian is something I identify with. And that sort of disruption, it does affect me a little. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. I like a little bit of unity.
Yeah, just a little bit would be nice. And yeah, I think it's just such an interesting moment we're seeing now where it's like, all right, what's JT you're going to do? Because the thing about Justin Trudeau is this is what causes some issues. Is he's so soft as a leader. So he'll do like backroom deals to go screw you. Like it's like high school stuff.
He won't give it to you straight.
No. He'll find ways to
hate
get
people
you.
like that.
It's so annoying, and he's so
Tell me
soft.
the truth.
Yeah, just tell me straight up.
Look me in the eyes and just say the truth.
Say it with your chest.
Right? Why can't I don't get why people have to lie.
Yeah, and
It's a weak disease.
It's a weak disease. We're here for it. But he's done it to everyone who's ever opposed him. They always found ways to he's found ways to screw them over later on in life.
Yeah,
and so
every time.
So now I'm curious what he's going to do. What's he going to do? Well, he's down to Nova Scotia.
It started with what we talked about on the show.
Yeah, the Glass Sea license.
You voted
conservative.
blue.
Now
I'm going to allow companies to dictate what I do to your province.
Yep.
Or I'm going to dictate companies to do things to your province.
True. And maybe all this really, maybe we can just draw it all back. This all probably started with Trudeau. Let's be honest. When he started just ravaging Alberta and taking everything from them and making them pay everybody in the country for their resources and giving nothing back to them, this is probably them just saying, you know what, enough. We're done being pushed around by you. This is probably just a result of what he's done for the past 7 years.
I don't think how it could be anything less. I don't see how it could be anything less. And then to see like the crisis that we're going through, the inflation we're facing, I think some of the lowest GDP we've probably ever seen, and we're still not touching our own oil. That's such a slap in the face to Alberta. That is the bread and butter of Alberta. That's the truth.
Yeah, Alberta, baby.
And, people judge Alberta a lot for being the Texas of Canada. They provide a ton for this country at its 100% operating capacity.
Yeah.
They provide like a ton for this country, and they're demonized by media, government, and other Canadians for being like backwards hillbillies. Do I fit in Alberta? No, but I can respect what they do. And Justin Trudeau does not.